Besties.
I think we're
round 2, to be honest. Yeah, I'm just gonna own it. Guess what? Your girl just did. Started a whole stream and did not actually go live. So we're gonna roll it back, right? And I'm
Right.
Amanda. That's not DC.
No, not DC.
Who are you?
I'm Old Ed Fries. I am part of our local establishment where I review on a weekly basis NXT on Taking Over every Tuesday night. You can check us out after you check out the Meta 2 right here on bodyslam.net.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for hopping in, Ed. I appreciate your help.
Absolutely. I was very excited.
So we have quite the show. It was a very exciting episode of Raw.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, there's buttons. There's buttons going on here. There's people in the chat. Oh, thanks. Astrid's here. Thank you so much. Really, Astrid is the one. I asked Astrid and she's like, I cannot, but can I find someone else? Like, yes, you can. I don't know what I'm doing. Yay. It's so nice to see you. Hi.
Hello. Hi,
Bobby. Also, it's like a little bit different theme. It's okay. I'm confused. Oh, yay. It's so exciting. Oh, thank you. You know what? Honestly, I did not do my eyebrows today. These are natural eyebrows. I'm out of my stuff. And I have to tell you every day that I can't do my brows, I think about MDB 8999 and I go, damn, I need to get this new. It's an elf. It's a pencil. It's from Target. Nothing's stopping me. I just haven't executed yet. So I will try to take care of that tomorrow. Also, maybe someday figure out how to make a background that's not just creepily Cody Rhodes' house, potentially. I don't actually know if there is a set for Rhodes to the Top. Like, is this a green screen set? Or is this like what their living room looks like? Because that would be very weird. You're just like scrolling through Twitter and you see like your own living room on a situation. Okay, so Monday Night Raw, so much happened. You know, usually we sometimes go through just about everything, and sometimes we just do our favorites and like our best of the best and our least best. Yeah. So it depends how you want to do it. But I always think it's fun to start with the best of the best. So whatever was your favorite part of tonight, we can start there.
Let's talk about Bronson Reed and The Miz. Because that was my favorite match of the night in its entirety. I love that whole thing, especially the backstage, like in guerrilla promo that Miz does before the match, where Adam Pearce walks up to him. He's like, Miz, are you sure we should be? I don't really think we should be doing this. I think I should just suspend him, and we should just get over this. And he's like, yeah, I think that's a great idea too. However, he hurt my friend, and as you know, I don't have many friends here. So now I have to go do this. And he went out there and had a really good match with Bronson Reed. The no disqualification thing plays in great. They had good chemistry, lots of back and forth. At the end of the day, the right guy gets the win. And we set up the next Bronson Reed match.
It's good. It's good stuff. I was it almost annoyed me that it took so long. Is that weird?
I mean, no. I mean, everybody
thought, like, as I was sitting there, and it was good, though, because I was doing something else. So I was writing an article, and then I thought, wow, this is going on a long time. But I did actually rationalize it to myself that both of the other kind of, like, attacks were sort of spontaneous. They weren't, like, planned matches. So he, like, snuck up on Seth. It's not as though The Miz is a million times stronger than Seth. It was just interesting. Like, there was, you didn't necessarily think that The Miz would win, but you definitely, I think it was more competitive than I expected, I guess. I thought that The Miz was just getting fed to Rhodes and Reed.
But I think Miz is at the point in his career where he's trying to put over younger talent. He's at that point where it's like, I'm here to do the job to get other guys to the next level. And so then that means that The Miz goes out there, has a quality match, gets 10, 15 minutes in the ring to make sure that he looks good so that he can keep putting over young talent. Because if you feed Miz to Bronson Reed, then the next guy that you feed Miz to doesn't feel as big. Whereas if you let him use weapons and you give him the smallest fighting chance, then now the next time that they use The Miz to go ahead and take on somebody big and bad, they can go ahead and just beat him, and it's like, okay, that's good.
Yeah, there you go. This is also MDB says this is true.
Absolutely, Mrs. First Ballot Hall of Famer.
You don't. It shouldn't be like 2 minutes. Like I get it. I was just like, oh, this was a kind of a sort of a long one.
Yeah, I was surprised at the length of some of these matches on this show. I was like, this match is gonna go. Oh, it's over already. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So my best of the best was I enjoyed very much Ivy Nile and Maxine Dupree. And I thought that I understandably, like, I know why there was interference and like things happening so quickly, but I did think that it was a nice chance for Maxine to show off like a couple moves. Like she really got in some, I thought, like, pretty spicy offense, right? Like seeing Maxine throw Ivy Nile over a commentary table, like, I just thought it had good optics, and it was a nice way to set her up as maybe a little bit more than just like the pretty girl that comes out with the other guys. She has some substance to what she's up to. So
yeah, I think putting two friends in there who obviously have the ability to kind of plan this out, know exactly what they're going to do, and be able to go out there and execute that, I think is a great idea. I wish it would have been a few more minutes before we had all the Wyatt 6 stuff. Yeah. It could have been after the match, after Ivy Nile gets the win. It could have been after, Maxine gets a quick roll up and, the whole crew comes out there. Then we do it. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, you can't complain that Maxine looked good. It continued 2 different storylines all at the same time. And now we're getting the Uncle Howdy debut in the ring next week.
Yes. Are you excited about that? How do you feel about that?
I mean, I like it. I wish it were at Bash at Berlin. I think that would be a more fun place to do it. But with it being in Providence, Rhode Island next week, I know people who are going to the show who are going to be very excited that they're going to be able to see Uncle Howdy live.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Very cool. She does always look good.
She always looks good when she's out there, but looking good in the ring and looking
her
good.
Skills, her moves,
different.
Moves beyond her dance moves. She doesn't really get to dance that much, but I do feel like sometimes the way that she has to get in and out of the ring, her outfits, I just am always like, wow, this is a talent. This is a skill in and of itself. I continue to say I choose to not I try to be as positive as possible, but also I don't feel like I can comment on any of their in-ring work because I don't even think I could do an entrance. I don't think I could even get in a ring without showing all of my business in the streets. It would just be bad. So I always think any moves that happen are impressive, but some moves that were super impressive tonight. I really enjoyed the triple threat match for the women's tag team championship. I thought that it was very much it was a good showcase of each of those teams in a way. What did you think about that one?
I mean, the match itself was fine. I mean, we had really good competitors in there. It was never going to be a bad match. They got enough time. Everybody kind of got to do their thing. We really need to work on, can we reworkshop this name for Sonya Deville? And because the stud line is great. I like that. Mia Yim did a really good job with that one. And then WWE pulls out, their random tag team name generator, and they're like, Pure Fusion Collective. And I'm like, what? Still don't like it.
Yeah, I do know, I did an article. That's the only reason I know. So I know that their trademark is on both Pure Fusion Collective and then just Pure Fusion. And I wonder if at some point they drop MDB.
Shaniza.
Yes. Yes. I'll work on that. You know how I am with remembering things or pronouncing things. So this is a good segue. You can go to slamchats.com and send us money. Ed, do you have kids?
I do. I have.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So I don't even have to change the catchphrase. You know what? You need to send us money because we've got kids, people.
We're like Heath Slater. We've got kids.
Exactly.
Don't be Brock Lesnar.
Don't be Brock Lesnar. You have to give an S word about my kids. Okay. That's one of my favorite I say GIF, so I don't know. Other people say GIF. It's a little bit of a thing, but that's one of my favorite ones. Is him. Brock Lesnar is in Heath Slater's face telling him he doesn't give an S word about his kids. It's just kind of funny. But you can give an S word out of about our kids. Also sending in a super chat. I've never seen one, so I don't know what happens, and I want to know. So if somebody even wants to throw me $1, that would be supreme. I don't. I think
we can skip that.
I don't know what to do with this thing, but I don't think you should click on any kind of like.
Oh yeah, never click on links from Twitch chat. No.
Don't do that. And so I don't really know how to control that, but I would say no. So don't do that, friends. Don't do that, friendos. So, oh, you know what? Let's rewind. Let's talk about a scam just for a second. I would like to inform the people. I got the weirdest Instagram message today from a blatantly fake Seth Rollins account because the name was like Colby freaking Lopez. I was like, yeah, oh, he would obviously do that. Obviously.
Totally.
And it was a long message saying that he was the real Seth Rollins. Like he's Colby Lopez and he's trying to fight these imposters. And so he was like recruiting a small group of real fans to help him. Oh my God. I was like, oh wow, the scam has gotten even deeper. Like they're not just pretending like, oh my God. So please never. So that is my, MDB told me how to say it. Perfect. So that is my pitch for tonight. Please do not send any money to other people pretending to be wrestlers, but you know what you can do? You can send money to us. So go to slamchats.com or send a super chat. Let's see. MDB told me how to say it. Shazonia. Oh, Shazonia. Okay. Shazonia. I do like that. Shazonia is solid. I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed that Alba Fire and Isla Dawn still won. I am kind of feeling like every week it has a little more intrigue to me because I do often think like, oh, well, so they're dropping it here. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's kind of a fun, I keep just tricking myself into believing that it's going to be over every single week. But I did like the way that there's, they kind of are able to win, not necessarily by chicanery. Like it's not full on sneaky tactics, but it is often in like the very last, like down to the wire. Like they're able to pull out a sneaky victory. So it goes with their character, I think, because they're the tricksters.
And if you believe Jade Cargill's slip of the tongue with Stephanie Chase, that title switch might be happening at Bash in Berlin.
Oh, there you go. I didn't know that. There was a Freudian slip amongst the
media. Yeah, Stephanie was doing an interview with Jade Cargill, and she says, when we win those titles back at a PLE. And she's like, I mean, if we win these titles back. It's like, the match hasn't even been announced yet. Jade Cargill's already talking about the PLE, so.
Whoops. That would be, I mean, honestly, I never wanted them to lose it, but it's okay. I'm not like bitter about it. I think it's been
somebody that was Scottish had to win in Scotland.
Yeah, somebody I do agree. I definitely was. I mean, we don't even have to get into that, but my predictions based on what I thought was going to happen versus what did happen for that was such a miserable failure. Like I remember fully saying like, they won't do that to Drew 2 years in a row. Like I was so certain it wasn't happening. So very funny. Yeah, I do think Bash in Berlin is proving to be an exciting card almost in a unexpected way. Like I'm not sure that I knew that I was going to care. They kind of keep adding reasons for me to care a little bit more. So I feel like by the time, I mean, is it next 2 weeks?
It's a week from Saturday.
From Saturday. Oh, we've got, it's All In. That's this weekend. Yeah.
All In is this weekend. And then that weekend is, as we say, slammed. Because you got Emergence on Friday. You got Bash in Berlin on Saturday. And then No Mercy on Sunday.
Yes. And then it doesn't stop because then All Out's the next week. You know what? That's fine. You know what you should do? You should send in a super chat because we've got kids, so we need to get some
slam chats. We're slammed like the
slam chats. Wait, did I say it wrong?
No, you said it right.
They can do it on YouTube supposedly, but I've never seen one, and I feel like one of you cuties would have already obliged me with $1, but I'm not really sure. Okay, so Yes, slam the chats, slam them right there. What is it? It's also slamchats.com. Yes. And then super chats here. Whatever, man. I don't know. Just give us money. So that triple threat was fun. I did think it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
I liked that I do feel like they're gonna stick together as a group, at least Shizonia, because they had matching gear. Sonya and Zoe Stark had like a very coordinated look, and I was like, okay, cool. This is like, we're locked in. This is gonna happen. This isn't gonna just like fall apart in a couple weeks. Like, you're actually kind of serious about this. So that was nice.
They've been quietly forming 3 women groups for a little while here, so I don't think anybody's breaking up anytime soon.
Yes. I was able to get my cockamamie theory about there being WWE Women's Trios titles coming into a Wrestle Talk video. So if it ever happens, I'm going to feel like real cute because I can pull up some evidence. But I don't actually think so. I think it's more like to have when there's a new, like, yeah, whatever. Who cares? Okay. So Shizonia is one of my favorite tag teams. Yes. They've been doing a great job out there. I think I like the way that like the 3 women factions are pulling together, where it's like a tag team and then there's like a singles gal that kind of is doing her own thing. I think that each of those groups can be really powerful, and it can also sort of like move around. So that's cool. Also, Io Sky, you cannot see an Io Sky match that isn't compelling, honestly. There's always something going on. I always like to see her having a match on TV. So that's
fun. It's the anniversary of Shayna and Kairi Sane with their NXT Women's Championship match was today as well.
Oh, that's neat. Well, that's good. That's a fun throwback thing. I enjoy that greatly. Okay, so is there anything tonight that was your least best? Something that you didn't like very much?
Sheamus and Pete Dunne. The match is fine. I never like somebody with this massive injury that should be debilitating to anybody. Like, in theory, Pete Dunne and Sheamus are on the same level when they're both healthy. If Sheamus is fighting as a one-armed man, Pete Dunne should be in complete control of this. Yes, Sheamus is the wily veteran who can sneak things in and sneak things out. But they had a 2-segment match, and at the end of the day, Pete Dunne still loses to Sheamus. On the night before, he's going to be challenging to potentially be the NXT #1 contender for the NXT Championship, which they mentioned multiple times, which is great. But then they had him lose, which is kind of awful.
Do you think it's like... Okay, so this is always my question, and like, I hope the chat can weigh in because I'm curious. What is the expectation of continuity across the shows? Because is that actually meant to play into tomorrow why he doesn't beat Joe Hendry or Wesley? Like, is that a contributing factor? Or does it not even, like, I don't know how much, like, from a creative standpoint, do you know, like, are we meant to see it all as one canon? Or because back in the day it was not so much, but now it's like they're referencing.
Yeah,
it's all kind of existing in the same universe. They're the same characters for the most part. Nobody kind of just becomes a new entity when they leave NXT.
The more Raw and SmackDown mention NXT, the more canonized I think everything is, because they're bringing things from NXT that matter there, and they're talking about them on the main roster. This isn't days of the old NXT where somebody gets called up and we don't mention anything they did in NXT. Ethan Page is on SmackDown, just shown with his championship, and they're like, NXT champion Ethan Page, #1 contenders match this week, on NXT. Roxanne Perez there. They mentioned the gauntlet for her. So it's like they're doing things. Do I expect a ton of everything connecting perfectly? No.
Really,
Triple H and Shawn have different stories to tell. But at the same time, I think they're working together more often than Vince was with Triple H or Vince was with whoever was running NXT when Triple H stepped down, most likely HBK.
Yeah. So I do think that it's possible. I don't see Pete Dunne winning tomorrow.
No. It was always going to be Hendry.
I think it kind of gives them almost a little bit of an out. But yeah, it didn't make sense if Sheamus has one arm. So I sometimes like to try to make excuses for holes, and then I get to a point where I'm like, no, I can't anymore. So yeah, I could see that. Hey, Matthew's back. Hi, Matthew. Nice to see you. I saw Jeffrey was here too. Hi, Jeff. Yes.
I think people, and I never want to say this because I don't know what people have seen or what things people haven't seen. But if anybody lived through the Attitude Era, you have to understand nothing will ever be as bad as the wrestling. When you talk about these WWE speed matches, those were main events during the Attitude Era. You'd get 4 to 5 minute main events during Raw, and you'd have 15 matches on a show where no match would go longer than 5 minutes. People remember the good of the Attitude Era, but they drastically forget about how awful some of those shows are to watch back now.
And almost impossible, because there's something that if you view with a 20-year on lens, you're like, ugh, like everything is pretty wild. I do think that I don't know. I like to think that NXT is like Muppet Babies Attitude Era, only in that there are like these depth of characters. There are like a lot of these backstage segments, but it's not, it's definitely, it's hard to think about that time. Shout out to Sunday Night Heat. Yes. Shout out to Sunday Night Heat.
It was great. Right before pay-per-view, just Sunday Night Heat or the free-for-all. Oh,
yes, that was good stuff. Yes, correct. Nor would I, Matthew. Scary business. Scary stuff indeed.
As Jay says, yeet, I'm out.
Yeah, not interested in that. Yeah, there was like a little backstage segment with Jay. Oh, okay, so it's not really my least best. It's just like I got a little confused that there were immediately, and like that Braun Breaker announced a tournament that he was basically compelled to be the prize of, essentially. Like, he wasn't saying like, I'm hosting this tournament to find out my number one contender. It was like, this dirtbag Adam Pearce over here has to, so it's like the GM is setting up this tournament because blah, 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 whatever. Like, he had a whole reason. But the interesting piece was that there wasn't anyone announced until later. There was like a brief backstage segment with Jay talking to Jackie, and he was like, I'm in the tournament. And so sometimes when that happens, I feel like we end up getting like 3 or 4 weeks of just people shouting out, I'm in this tournament before any kind of tournament begins. And like, we're
getting matches next week.
There's matches already. Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
Michael Cole announced at the end of the show, as they were going into the main event, that they were getting matches next week.
Okay, well then there we go. That sounds good, because I am not trying to deal with yeah, and also, yeah, you're there, you're just hanging out.
Jay was the main event segment on the dark match main event on SmackDown too, and he didn't bother going to save Roman either. Jay is not concerned about anybody other than Sami Zayn.
Yeah, Jay's chilling, I guess. Jay doesn't care. Jay doesn't care about our problems in the streets. Jay cares about Jay.
I do love the idea that Braun Breaker's like, no, I don't want to have a tournament. I just want
to run I don't care about these
people. He's like, I'm not trying to run away from defending my title. I just want to defend it against all of them. Like, give me one guy next week. In 2 weeks, give me another. He's like, just keep feeding me the roster.
Right.
I'm like, okay, that makes more sense. Because at least Braun is like, no, I don't want a tournament just because I don't want to defend my title. I just want to run through as many of these people as possible, as quickly as possible.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see how that gets positioned.
We'll see Ilya in that too.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah.
One of the Creeds will probably be in it.
Yeah. Is Sammy in it, you think, or no?
No,
I
I
want
think
it to be
Sammy's going to be
done.
out for a few. The way Jay was talking, it sounds like Sammy's taking a small break. We probably won't see Sammy again until probably build for Bloodline versus Bloodline, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
So we probably won't see him till towards Bad Blood.
That's kind of funny. You know what I enjoy is that Braun Breaker, it felt like the beginning of the segment, he was a little bit fumblier. And just as he started talking, it seemed like he just kind of was able to do his own thing. Like, I think he got a little bit tripped up at the beginning of like, he almost sounded like he was repeating lines. Like at the first, I would say like the first 30 seconds didn't sound as natural. And I was like, oh no, what's going on here? But then it ended up being totally wonderful after that. So I do think that I was a really big fan of him when he was goofy on NXT. Like at the end when he was with what were they called? Wolf Dogs?
The Wolf Dogs.
Wolf Dogs, yes. So I enjoyed Goofball Braun Breaker, but I like that he snuck in there that he is a genetic freak. I appreciated that he's just like dropping random references. I just think it's kind of cute.
That he went to a prestigious university to be able to go ahead and comprehend why he has to be in this tournament. Oh, like he's got a little bit of charisma. He's got a little bit of something to him now, where for so long he didn't get it, and now Baron really did give him that bit to give him the ability to kind of figure out his own way. And yeah, they'll give him a canned script and he'll read as much of it as he needs to. But as soon as, like you said, he got in that pocket and all of a sudden he was all off on his own, where he's barking at people and telling people to bark at him. And I think he tried to get Jackie Redmond to bark at him too or something. It was great.
It's fun too that you can hear like when he's talking, because like they're in the back, but they can still hear what the crowd is doing. So he definitely can tell if the people are into him. And I think that's nice because I think it seems to, even as the segment goes on, like give him confidence. He barks, they bark back. He like gets more excited. I don't know, just nice. I have a very emotional, I think, attachment to the NXT lot.
Oh yeah.
Particularly the ones that were there, just like the 2.0 crowd, the 2.0 kids. That was when I first started writing. So I have like a couple favorites that I always am just like, oh, these are my babies.
There are children. Like for me, I cover NXT. Every time I see one go to the main roster, I'm like, no, my child's leaving for college. I hate it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I forget too, because I also used to I hated Grayson Waller and I didn't get it. And then just before he left NXT, I actually really started to love him. And then now it's like, it just feels like it's not a different person, but he is just on such another level that it's just like, oh my God, my baby. Like, look at you. You're really grown up. Okay, so back to Raw. What else? I am also going to miss Pat barking. We have to touch on that. Of course, football does what football does, apparently ruins social lives and also commentary desks, because now Pat McAfee is going back to College Game Day, so we'll have some time off from him. They did confirm, which I felt like was like reported around, but not necessarily said on television. Yeah, it is actually.
Sometimes it depends on how good my Patriots are, how overrated it is.
It was not necessarily confirmed on TV, but now it is that Pat will be back for January with the switch over to Netflix, which all of this is happening so much faster than I kind of realized. Like they're already, SmackDown goes to USA already on like April 3rd or April. Oh my gosh, Amanda, September 13th. But that's
October.
only, I feel.
Is it October or September?
It's September, because I looked and was like, whoa, that's only 3 weeks from now. And that's very exciting to me because they changed something about the local Fox affiliate, and I can't watch SmackDown by righteous means. I have to take my crimes. I'm a woman of the streets and I have to commit crimes, streaming crimes, in order to watch SmackDown, and I'm very excited to not have to do that anymore because it is always an uncomfortable situation. The chat is vicious. The things that the people say in the unauthorized stream chat, I can't even look at that. I've never even seen words so horrible before. Okay,
that's reminiscent to the old TNA days during the pandemic when they were broadcasting and they had Melissa Santos. And half the show was everybody just bitching at Melissa to bring Brian Cage out with the baby.
Oh, God.
Because Brian was home from AEW. And they wanted to see Brian appearing on TNA programming while he was working for AEW. She's like, it's not happening. Stop.
Hey, wait, why am I a pirate? What did I do?
Because you're pirating Fox's.
Oh, yeah, no, I am. Oh, yeah, I am. I'm so sorry. That's horrible. Yeah, it's bad. But so soon I will no longer be watching. I also end up watching the UK stream, which I think is pretty funny because I don't know.
That's how we get most of it because you can't do it in the US streams. And also 7 weeks until we get the CW NXT.
Yes, and I am very excited about that. Something that has to do that goes well with that is that we did get an announcement about what CM Punk will be up to for Bash at Berlin, and it was, I would say, I was not surprised. I felt like it was heavily alluded to last week. So there wasn't necessarily anything that was super surprising about the segment exactly, but I did think that anytime you have CM Punk and Drew McIntyre talking to each other, I do very much feel like they make some nice television magic, in my opinion. I think that they bounce off each other quite well.
They took their sweet ass time doing it though tonight. There were a lot of just empty pauses in that promo.
You know, I have this
soaked it up, and I'm just like, 15 minutes to tell us we're getting a strap match? Come on, boys. We've got
theory that there is like a light competition between the legends, I would call them. I don't know, like the old timers society. I feel like their entrances feel like they're creeping up longer and longer. Like everyone wants it. Okay, this is not, I don't mean this in a pejorative sense, but like I think there is a emphasis to have a Roman-esque entrance because right? So it's like Punk's walkout is so long now. Like he is milking it. And then Randy Orton, I feel like, so it'd just be interesting. And that's one of those things that like somewhere people who love numbers and like love to do that, they should just, I'm just curious, like what was the average length of an entrance for Randy Orton 2 years ago or whatever, like compared to what it is right now? Because it's just interesting. So yeah, but it's Drew, Punk, and Randy that I notice it feels like they're going, it's a longer and longer situation.
Cody too. Oh, Cody takes
Cody's is already long. Cody's is long. Roman's is long. There's someone else. Oh, they just added a ton of pyro to Roman's. That's what I noticed last week was different. I was like, oh, there's so much pyro in this. This is a lot of money.
And that shitty new song too. That shitty new Roman song.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it as much. Yes, Seth. Thank you. Yeah. I forgot. I knew there was another big one.
Becky has a long one too.
Yep. She can ham it up.
Becky's taking her time.
I think the Damian Priest is kind of like, I don't think it's intended to be long, but it sometimes can go a little bit long too. So anyhow, okay. Drew McIntyre, funny. Okay. And then also, okay. Yeah, let's see how it goes. I don't have any particularly fond memories for any strap matches. Sometimes people have like, oh, I love that. Or like, that's one of my favorites. Like, I don't know. I like a dog collar match. That would be if you're going to ask me what I want to see happen, but I know why they're not doing that.
And JBL had a really, really good one. So here, there's two types of strap matches and they never differentiate which type of strap match they're doing. And I think this is the new version where it's just a regular wrestling match with the strap. But there's also the strap match where you have to touch all 4 turnbuckles in succession. That's the old school strap match that I grew up watching, where they have like the little lights on the poles. And
so that's what he described. And I was like, oh, we're doing that? So I don't know. Are they doing that?
I don't know. I would assume no, because I'm just surprised CM Punk's going to be able to wrestle 2 matches in a row without hurting himself. So, I'm not I love CM Punk for everything he did prior to 10 years ago.
Oh.
I don't need him back. I didn't need him to come back to AEW. I didn't need him to come back here. Like, it's
how would I forget? Oh my God,
yep,
Adrian
really
pulled through. Yes, Adrian. Okay, all right. I take it back. That one was so good. Hi, Adrian. Nice to see you. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Cena Umaga had a really good strap match, yeah. There's a lot of really good strap matches, but they're, like Amanda says, they're kind of not memorable. It's like when you start looking up strap matches, you go, oh, that was a really good one, and that's a really good one. Hell, what about Miz and Bray Wyatt when he was the Fiend?
Oh,
they had a it was Brian. No, it was Brian Danielson again.
Yeah.
It wasn't Miz, it was Brian.
It wasn't
the strap match with the Fiend.
Oh man. Good shout. Yeah, so I'm excited for that match. I guess like I don't know. I'm looking forward to. I think Bash in Berlin will just be fun in general. I think there's like a lot of there's just like a lot of what I do like about the international PLEs, I feel like are kind of like these super pumped up house shows, right? Like they kind of feel like they have a little bit of this hometown flavor. There's definitely not like catering to the crowd, but there's definitely conscious choices made in what's on the card and like kind of which feuds explode during those individual like points in time. And so this is a very nice time for so many things to come together, but particularly to see, do you think this is the blow off of their feud or do they continue to fight?
No, I think this ends whatever they're doing now, I think ends here. Because I think we're going to start directing Punk towards Rollins at this point. I don't.
Yeah.
We're probably going to get a cage match at Bad Blood. I think we'll probably get a third at Bad Blood. But I think we're starting to end this road between Seth and Drew, and we're going to start moving towards with Drew and Punk, and we're starting to get towards Seth and Punk.
Yeah.
As we get
I'm a fan of Punk and Drew, but I am sort of, I'm excited to see Seth and Punk because I feel like maybe this is just me like loving a little gossipy moment, but I do feel like their promo style with each other, at least whether or not it is coordinated behind the scenes, like I don't know. I literally have no scoops but the ice cream in the freezer. I don't know anything about anything. I don't know anyone. I've never met a wrestler. Like I don't know anything, so don't listen to me. But what I would say is that their kind of tone and cadence with each other makes it feel more off the cuff. It feels more ad-libbed, and it also tends to feel a little more personally vitriolic. Like they ping on a different level of nastiness with each other that makes me feel like there's more realism. Like there's more
real bad blood between the two of them.
There's real bad blood. So I would like to see that. Yeah, let me know. Hopefully
we've got to get Amanda to an independent show. Is what first thing we need to do.
Oh my God,
independent wrestling show.
Oh my God, I've been to Defy. I just don't like.
You don't do the meet and greets?
No, I just don't do anything. I just like zip in and zip out. I am always late to everything, so like that's always a thing. And then I just left. But yeah, I don't do any. It's weird. Yeah, I don't know. I'll figure it out one day. You know, the first words I've ever said to any wrestler were in my little in that Wrestle Dream press conference. I got to ask Edge a question. It was Adam Copeland, and I just asked him about his wife. Both of those guys, I just asked them about their wives. Tell me about Beth. Tell me about
free agent. Apparently, she made that news public this week.
Oh, what?
Beth is a free agent.
Oh, yes,
that's no longer under WWE Legends contract. I would imagine then.
I would like to see that happen, but that's just me. Amanda is what we call socially awkward. Thank you.
Isn't that every wrestling fan? Aren't all of us?
Was there a reason to shout that out in the chat, friend? Like, why are you? Yes, it's true. Like, I'm about as weird as they come. But you know what? I think I'm pretty enough that it covers up the weird until you hear me talk for more than like 5 minutes. So we're at 40 in. You're 40 deep now, people. If you've watched this far, the illusion is busted. This lady is weird, but we're going to press on. We'll figure out what else happened during Raw. There was a fun, who was I? I'm totally wrong. It was not on Raw. I saw it online. It's not even Raw, people. What else did you have? What was your did you already have a worst? Your least best? It's not worst.
No, yeah, I did the Sheamus Pete Dunne thing. I thought
that's right. Yes.
Can we talk about the guy who got the most camera time tonight besides Randy Orton being Mr. Tiffany Stratton?
Mr.
Ludwig
Tiffany
getting all the TV time tonight.
He did get a lot of TV time tonight. Doesn't he just look like he's wearing a fake chest? I don't even think that looks like a real body. And then next to Randy Orton, who I think has like the most slamming body ever, I'm like, whoa, that guy is even more ripped than Randy Orton. It was just like, whoa, what is happening? And then Pat always references the fact that he has like 2.5% body fat or something. And it always makes me laugh because I do think that's something like Pat would know the numbers on. So I'm like, oh, this guy.
Oh, that's totally a Marcel like Ludwig thing where he's going around telling people. He's like, I meant 2.4% body fat.
I guarantee you he knows the number and he tells people, and that number is probably like informed based on personal conversation. But I don't doubt it because he looks so lean, so ridiculous. They were out there having quite an interesting match. Gunther's at ringside. I'm not saying I don't care about this, but like I don't really care about this. I don't know. I love Randy Orton. I'm glad he's here. I like to hear his song. I like to see an RKO.
We're all here for the Gunther homecoming next Saturday.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of like vibes for Gunther, which is exciting. Yeah, but I do think more time for Kaiser is fun. I don't see any reason on planet Earth why they don't just put them together on the same show and make them like a Barbie and Ken couple. It makes no sense to me. But yeah, whatever, dude. Stick with what you're doing, I guess. But I think they would be super fun. They should just.
I think Tiffany's enjoying not have to have him on the show and just being able to be the star that she is on her own.
That's true.
Because he's only gonna anchor her down.
I mean,
let's let her run wild.
She's doing her own thing. It just makes me sad when the couples aren't on the same show. I don't know why. I always feel like the travel schedule makes me sad. You know why that makes me sad? Because I remember the old episodes of Total Divas when they would talk about that ad nauseum. And that was a big problem during the draft episodes. So, why? His shoulders would make me not want to fight him. What are you talking about? I'm confused.
They just stick up. Weird. They just stick up like points. Like they don't round. They just kind of like point.
I will say I felt like when he walked out, it was like a very model walk that I was like, does he always do this? Like it was very like that I didn't notice before. So I don't know if tonight was unique in that way. I thought it said looks like he loves bread. I was like, no, he doesn't. But it's okay.
That man doesn't eat carbs. What are we kidding us?
I'm like, you guys are you just dragging me? Are you just dragging me in the shadow? What's happening?
Drew adorable. We love Drew Barrymore.
Well, Astrid likes me, so that's what I care about in life. Oh, they're screaming children. That's always a fun one. Okay, so that's when you know it's time to wrap it up. When the kids start screaming. How old are your kids, Ed?
My daughter is about to turn 13 in about a month and a half.
Wow, that's exciting. I am so terrified of that. Mine are 5, and it's a boy 5, girl 2. And I am already so scared of girl child that I can't even imagine what 13 will be like because 2 is very challenging. So I don't know what happens when she's even bigger and even feistier. So is there anything else that we are missing? Them little ass shoulders. You guys are on his shoulders. You guys have thoughts. You have opinions.
I mean, he's a wrestler. He needs to have better shoulders. I mean, the only other thing we didn't mention the entire show is Dom versus Damian Priest was just an angle for them to beat up Damian Priest and Rhea.
Yeah, and I just don't like. I don't know, man. I know what we're doing here. I just don't know that it. There's a couple different. I think one of the quirks of the Paul Levesque era is that things do move perhaps a little bit more slowly than usual, I guess. I think that the storylines are plotted in a more methodical manner, so you don't just have like this random crap happening. But along with that is that you I don't know if I needed this many weeks of this back and forth. Like, I'm not sure there's anything that much more exciting about. Am I ever going to get to see?
We're no closer to Finn versus Damian, which is the match we're waiting for.
Right.
We got to get through the tag match first.
I just want to see Rhea beat up Dom, and I don't even think they can do it with it. Are they going to do it in that match? So I don't think that. So I think it'll be like a different time. I just want to see Dom go through a table, frankly. I want to see Rhea put the riptide on Dom. So if anyone can let me know when that happens, and I guess I won't be satisfied until then. If we're being honest, that's what I'm waiting for. So I
haven't been satisfied for any of this feud. So I was one of the people that, like, during the whole like Liv and Dom thing, I was like, I don't want any of this. I don't want this. I don't like this. This is awful.
Yeah.
Because if a man saying no and a woman like practically jumping at him, I'm like, no, this is not what we're supposed to be doing here.
Well, yeah, also because I'm big on I like to like move things around. So like my best example is like Angela and Michael from 90 Day Fiance. If there's any 90 Day Universe fans out here, if there was ever an instance by which we observed a man behaving towards his female partner in that way on television, the world would be up in arms. Like, you would not be able to smash a cake in someone's face and like just do all this crazy stuff. So yeah, I kind of agree. I thought it was fun and I thought it was kind of cute, but the person I talked to most about wrestling also wasn't feeling it, and was just kind of like, no, this is cheesy, like it's corny. I feel like it's corny. So I do think that I wonder if it's also like a generational split, because like I like a little bit of a corny moment, and I do think younger people.
I love corny, but like it was way too horny in the wrong direction.
Yeah, it was more horny than corny.
Yeah.
So they went too far one way. We had to make it. We could have come back. We could have come back here. Speaking of Attitude Era stuff, like a Val Venus situation, I would never want to see that happening again. That was so weird. There was a lot. There was just like so many very weird, just characters and like odd stuff that I'm glad that we don't have. I like a little bit of weird, but it can always be stranger. Yeah. We're good. We're feeling good. Dom does like his time.
Just for the general public. Fuck Val Venus. Like,
I mean, yeah, that too.
Just in general.
I just remembered that his character sucked, but then now, yeah, like his human character also seems to suck. So like,
I would much rather he just be the porn star that he used to pretend to be, because at least that guy was halfway entertaining. This guy's just a douchebag.
Yeah. So sucks to suck, turns out. That's how that works out. Oh, yeah. What? There is, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. There was some things that were like, whoa, I don't think we could do it nowadays, but maybe we could. Who knows? We're kind of entering a weird era, pop culture wise. I don't think it's necessary.
Naked
Midian cannot exist. There's one that I like. I rewatched it recently. They used to fight in like pudding, and there's one horrible one where Stephanie McMahon versus them. Yeah, all that. I was like, whoa, that's a little bit wild.
Again, welcome to the Attitude Era.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I still love Goldust though.
Oh yeah.
I think that's funny. And every time I still hear Dustin Rhodes' theme, even today's, like the one from AEW, just the first couple seconds always make me go like, I'm excited. Oh my God, it's Goldust. It's not, Amanda. It's never going to be. Yeah, I don't know. The Raw was good. We don't really give like numbers or grades or anything. I think Usually, I think we just mostly like everything. So, but in a good way.
Yeah, it was a fine show. I watched 3 hours of Raw, and at the end of it, I didn't hate my life. So that's a positive, because Raw is sometimes a slog to get through at 3 hours. It's like,
it is.
God, all right, we're finally done, right?
Today's was fast. I did notice that. I felt like it went by really quickly. So that was always fun. I think that the way that it feels very much like they are, I appreciate the way that the production feels like it's pivoting towards for this like Netflix transition. I think it'll be more of a television show. Like, I don't think we're going to see the same like the sports-based presentation aspects. I think will be integrated in a more Hollywood way, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like we're getting a show about a show, sort of, and almost like a, not quite 30 Rock, like not quite that much of a show in a show, but the way that they're acknowledging the things that go on backstage in a little bit more casual manner has been encouraging. So I'm interested to see what happens with like the flavors of Raw versus SmackDown. Like, does this change anything a lot? Because they can, if the crowd starts chanting you effed up, you don't have to turn all the audio off anymore.
I can't wait for the non-censored Raw stuff. There are already superstars salivating at the opportunity. By the way, did you see the poster for Raw on Netflix over at Fanatics Sports Fest?
No.
It has the new Bloodline is on the Raw on Netflix poster. That was like a big mural there, and one of it was Charlotte Flair, it was A-Town Down, and it was we're all on the new Raw for Netflix. And I'm like, that's an interesting thing.
That is wild. That's exciting. That's intriguing. Okay, yes, here's what we need to do. In this last few moments here, we are going to shout out Ed. Thank you, Ed. Thank you for popping in here. It was like super last minute, so iconic. Thank you so much. Where can the good people of the internet find you and all of your excellent work, Ed?
You can find me on Twitter at edfries12584. You can find all of my content at our local establishment on both Twitter and YouTube. Every Tuesday night with the lovely Ash Bizarro, we host Taking Over. You can go ahead and catch that right after you catch the Meta 2 here on Body Slam. We go ahead and we do that. It also goes up on YouTube every Wednesday, so you can go ahead and catch it on repeat on the Our Local Establishment YouTube channel. And I am being interviewed by our in-house interviewer, Mark Talks Wrestling, this Saturday afternoon. So that'll be fun. You'll be able to learn some questions about me on that.
That's exciting. Oh my gosh.
I'm not looking forward to it, I'll be honest.
Oh, that's exciting. Thanks, Astrid. Okay, man, Ed, thank you so much. Yes, Ed is a bestie. Ed is an official bestie. Thank you so much. Wait, is it? Oh, I get it. I thought today was your birthday, and I was like, "Oh my God, today's your birthday!" No, okay. It is so many people's birthdays today. It is actually.
It is. It's legitimately Auntie Colin, so many others.
Yeah. Shout out Mod Mother Jenna. It's her birthday. It's also the actual Pete Quinnell birthday. Everyone always says happy birthday to Pete every other day of the year, but I always know when Jenna's real birthday is because it is Pete's actual birthday. So, thank you so much, Jenna. I'm going to clip this. I'm clipping it. I'm sending it to Jenna without Mod Mother Jenna from WrestleTalk.com and the side chat of Wrestle Talk. Every single stream, there would be no Amanda. There would be no WrestleTalk.com Amanda. There would be no this Amanda sitting here if it weren't for her kind of like giving me a nod and telling Andy that I wasn't a dirtbag, I think, and giving me a chance. I really appreciate it. Happy birthday, Jenna. Always happy birthday to Pete. It's happy birthday to Pete every day. Yeah, Auntie Collins. There's someone else too. Oh, Andrew Thompson from Post Wrestling, who I spend. Oh my God, if I don't have a story, Post Wrestling will have a story for me. The way that he transcribes is so iconic, and I just wish I could have any of that talent. I'm the worst transcriber in town. Oh my God, nobody wants me to do it. It's bad.
You should see my notes. My notes are so screwed up.
It's bad. You know what broke me? I think one of the very first interviews I transcribed was a Wrestle Talk kind of like exclusive, but it was Eddie Kingston. And it was so hard. I'm telling you, I've never been so like, oh my God, because it was just he's an oh, I love him. I love everything about him.
Energetic little man, isn't he?
The words, right, the breaks and the cuss words, I think like immediately made me hate transcribing. So that's never been something I enjoy. Well, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ed. We really appreciate it. Ed's an official bestie. We'll be back next week. With Uncle Howdy. That's exciting. I'm excited for that match. Will be a good one. So, okay, take good care, everybody. Be nice to each other. Be nice to yourself, and have a good